Colbyjack.net is proud to present From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. The people of the fire, the Blesa, led by their queens, have ruled the island of Alfeyju and oppressed the Driva, the people of the ice, for more than 16 generations. With the Drivian King in hiding and little hope on the horizon, the Driva looked to one person to save them from the vile Blesa, the Diviana. According to legend, the divinely gifted Diviana will one day overthrow the Blesa and restore the Drivian King to his rightful throne. But with the search having lasted for more than 400 years, will the Diviana ever come to light? Willow is the slave of the Raskpil family. Bought at the age of 4, 20 years have passed since her life irrevocably changed. Her existence is no worse than any other slave, but within, Willow wonders if there isn't something more she should be doing with her life other than serving the ungrateful. Ordered to travel with her master's family to Sondertoft, so her master's adult children can take part in an ancient rite of passage, Willow is shocked when she learns that she too must participate. Will she fail, as all before her have? Will she rise to the challenge and become stronger after passing through the flames? Episode 79. They finished the first going through of the first attic in 3 hours. "Do you think anyone will notice the disturbed dust?" Hawk asked, trying to stop himself from sneezing. They were resting at the opposite end of the room, sitting in a pair of very comfortable chairs. "They might," Willow said, wiping the dirt from her hands onto a towel that had been left in the attic. "But by the amount of dirt and dust we've disturbed, I doubt they come up here all that often." "Break time over," Val said. "Back to work." "Easy for you to say," Hawk said, getting reluctantly to his feet. "You haven't done anything." "For your information, I've been keeping an eye out for anyone who might stumble upon you. It's not like you've been very quiet." Willow got up, and they walked toward the door that divided this attic from the next one. Why the designer hadn't made it one big attic instead of 3 divided attics, she'd never know. "We've been as quiet as we can. It's not my fault all those shoes fell out of that cupboard and nearly buried me, and nobody can hear anything with the rain and thunder going on outside anyway. It would take a lot more noise to get their attention." "Just try to be more alert and careful," Val snapped as they walked into the second attic. At first glance, it looked identical to the last one. Not in contents, but in the way things were carelessly tossed around and disorganized. "These people have no sense of organization, do they?" Willow asked as she looked around. "They wouldn't know organization if it came with a neatly printed label. Labels. Why couldn't they have labeled all this crap?" "Why? I get the feeling that once it's banished to the attic, it'll never see the light of day again," Willow said snidely. "So why label anything?" Willow and Hawk's hopes, which had been high when they started, had fallen tremendously low by the time they finished the second attic, 2.5 hours later. Their mood had turned pessimistic and crabby. "I should go tell the others we're going to be a lot longer than we initially thought," Hawk said as he ate the lunch they'd packed. "Why are you so sure we're not going to find it in the next 5 minutes?" "Because I'm becoming more convinced as we go that there's no jewelry up here. We haven't found one ring, let alone a necklace. I'll be back in a few minutes," he said before disappearing. "He's right, you know," Val said. "You've been searching for hours and haven't found any jewelry." "Maybe it's all in the last attic," Willow said hopefully. "Always the optimist, I see," Val muttered right before Hawk popped back into the attic. Flinging himself into his chair, he set down a bag and said, "Everyone says hi. Sigurd says he's becoming worried, but I assured him the only thing attacking us are these dust bunnies and the homicidal shoes." "Bet that calmed him down," Willow said, smirking at the thought of homicidal shoes chasing Sigurd around the dusty attic. "I also brought more food back, so we can eat dinner here if we have to. Adelina also told me she was going to go hunting. She complained that she was becoming claustrophobic being stuck in the cave with the others." But what if they need her, or we do? She can run as fast as the wind. A few minutes to get to the others won't mean a lot if we're captured. As for the others, they can take care of themselves. You're right. I just don't like being away from them for so long. Really hoping we find the necklace in the next room, Willow said as she got to her feet and stretched. Guess break time's over, Hawk said, following her to the next door. Willow opened it and couldn't hold back her gasp of shock and amazement. This attic sparkled and glistened as the others didn't. Rows upon rows of gleaming gems twinkled at them. Light radiated from each case and piece of jewelry, as if there were thousands of candles lit. By the gods, look at this, Willow whispered. I've never seen anything this magnificent. There's enough gems here to decorate every woman on Alfeyju. Half the women, at least, Willow said. Not sure if there's enough for every woman. What are you two doing? Val asked. Stop admiring the wicked queen's hoard of jewels and get searching. If there's as much here as I think there is, it'll take you a long time to get through everything. He's right, Hawk said. These shelves go from floor to ceiling. Then let's get looking. Willow couldn't hold back her enthusiasm. It had to be here. It just had to be. She was certain. Her certainty, however, disappeared as she finished looking through the last few drawers of necklaces, rings, and tiaras. The delight and awe of the pieces had worn off after the first dozen drawers, and while all the pieces were beautiful, gorgeous, one of a kind, none of them were the necklace she was looking for. I don't understand it, Hawk said, as frustrated as she was. Did we miss a drawer or something? It should have been here. The gods know we've gone through enough crap to last us a lifetime. But why haven't we found it by now? We didn't miss anything. It's not up here. But it has to be, doesn't it? No, she said. It doesn't. It could be in the Queen's suite. You really think she has jewelry in her suite? Why? She could put everything up here and peruse her collection for whatever strikes her fancy whenever she wants to. Why would she keep anything in her suite? Because women like to keep the things they like close to them, and that means if she liked the necklace, it would be in her suite, she said. Fine, let's go, he said, grabbing her hand. I'll zip us down to her suite and we can check it out. No, she said before he could follow through on his plan. We need to be more careful than that. We're going down to a part of the house that might be inhabited. But nobody should be in the suite. You don't know that, she said. One of the servants might have taken it over and could be living in it for all we know. You won't want to transport us down and have us interrupt something. It would liven up our day, he said. All right, we'll do it your way. Where'd Kalina say the suite was? Second floor, center, and east wings. 2 wings for a suite? Who ever heard of such a thing? Hawk asked as they went back to the center attic. You can do whatever you want when you're the queen of an island. Now be quiet while I listen, she said, putting her ear to the door. She listened for a few minutes before saying, The other side sounds clear. Transport us to just the other side of this door. Your wish is my command, he said before he moved them. They landed on a small landing connected to a very steep set of stairs. Willow went first, tightly gripping the railing, while Hawk followed. Could you imagine bringing all that furniture up these stairs? I wonder how many servants died. No, I could not imagine bringing anything up these stairs. What about trying to bring them back down? That'd be enough to give me a heart attack, Willow said, suppressing a shudder. Willow turned right when she got to the second floor, being sure to walk as quietly as possible. They had yet to hear or see another person, a trend they wanted to continue. As she walked down the hall, she was surprised by the lack of doors. How are we supposed to get into the suite if there aren't any doors? Hawk asked, reading her mind. There has to be at least one. Willow turned a corner and the wall she'd been walking next to disappeared. Pulling back to stop from being seen, she peered around the corner more cautiously and saw that they entered onto a balcony of some sort. What's wrong? Hawk asked, putting a hand on her shoulder in support. Nothing. Forgot we were concealed for a minute. There's the door, he said, nodding to the door, which was visible 5 feet away. We have to be careful. There's no wall across from the door. Anyone will be able to see the door open from across the ways. But we don't have to open the door, remember? Come on, time's passing us by. Hawk walked to the door and put his ear to it, trying to hear if there was anyone on the other side. While he was listening, Willow gazed out over the balcony, and admiration for the beauty of the home flowed through her. Across from her was another balcony and door, identical to the one which was behind her. Below them was an open space with couches, plants, and a spring. Perhaps this was where the queen whiled away her days. Nobody's in there, Hawk said, taking her hand and transporting them onto the other side of the door. I don't know why I'm so odd, Hawk said, as he walked more into the lavishly decorated room. Everything about this cottage is big, beautiful, and elegant. Why did I think the Queen's suite would be the same way? More looking and less talking, Willow said, already digging in the nearest drawer. I don't want to be here any longer than absolutely necessary. This room gives me the creeps. Are you sure it's the creeps and not a sixth sense telling you the necklace is here? I'm not sure of anything at this moment. They looked everywhere in the suite, including under the bed, but found nothing. Are you sure it's not one of the pieces in the jewelry box? Hawk asked, waving a hand at the jewelry cabinet that occupied a closet. At least 60 different pieces were in it, a minuscule amount when compared with the stash above them. I'm sure it's not here or in the attic. You have been listening to From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. Read, recorded, mastered, encoded, and produced by Colbyjack.net. This work is released under a Creative Commons 3.0 Attribution, Non-Commercial, Share-alike license. Do what you want with it, just don't try to profit from it. Heaven knows we can't. If you have any questions, comments, or rants you wish to share with us, we can be reached at Colbyjack at Colbyjack.net. That's COLBYTRAX @COLBYJACK.net. Yep, I sing it too. If you want to follow the exploits of Trisha in Twitterland, just search for Lady Trisha W on Twitter, or follow the ever-dashing, courageous, hardworking, intelligent, and immensely humble Colbyjack on the Twitters as well. If you find that you can't, just wait to find out what will happen with Willow, the strong dude and the annoying dude. Be heartened to know that From the Flames is available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Smashwords, as well as from our little shop. Didn't you know about our little shop? Why, yes, we have a little shop located at shop. That's shop.colbyjack.net. That's shop.colbyjack.net. Yeah, real original there. There you will find the latest ebook versions of all our works in both Mobi and ebook, all DRM-free, as well as audiobook versions of such works as Firmware Hijacked and Proxy, as well, naturally, as well as From the Flames. The audiobooks differ from the podcasts in that the headers and bumpers only run once, and the episodes are grouped into hour-long episodes for easy burning to CD or for downloading on the go. If you find you don't need any stuff, but just want to thank us monetarily for our efforts here, just head on over to Colbyjack.net, select either audio or visual, and look for the donate button located on the blog roll. Well, anyway, thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week, and remember to be fabulous.